It is April 7th, 2003, and two A-10 Thunderbolt Warthog airplanes are on a mission to help ground soldiers fighting in Iraq. Captain Kim "Killer Chick" Campbell and her team leader, Lieutenant Colonel Rick "Beano" Turner, fly fast toward a giant sandstorm covering the area when they hear a radio call from a battle below.
Yard 0 to 5, this is Advance 33. My soldiers are being shot at in the north part of town. Our location is Mike Bravo 396990.
It is Lieutenant John "Coke" Blocher on the radio. His team has been guarding an important bridge in the north of Baghdad, and now the Iraqi soldiers are attacking by shooting rockets right at the American team. Understood. Yard 05 and 06 are on the way. The mission is clear. The two Warthog planes fly fast toward their target, and at the same time, they mark where their friends and enemies are on their maps. Turner looks through his specialty binoculars at the dusty clouds blowing below him and finds what he is looking for, a clear opening. Quickly, he flips his plane upside down and pulls hard on the controls, disappearing under the bad weather. Then, Campbell hears him on the radio.
All right, Casey, it is your turn.
She does the exact same flying trick and follows him through the dust. As she flies down, a dark shadow covers her Warthog plane. The planes come out of the storm just enough to see what is below, and it is a giant battle. A storm of explosions, smoke, and glowing bullets flashes between the city streets. On the ground, the Iraqi soldiers hear the loud noise and look up to see the A-10 planes coming. They point their guns up at the sky, and they start shooting. Up in the planes, a mid-air explosion wakes Kim from her thoughts. It is enemy fire exploding just a few steps away from her plane, close enough that she can feel it shake. She hears Turner on the radio.
Advance 33, Yard 05 and 006 are here.
The enemies are under the bridge pillars on the east side.
Turner is about a mile ahead and says on the radio that he is going in by himself. Yard 5 flying in from the north. He flies very low over the water, coming in from the north. He flies past many buildings while being shaken by enemy bullets, but at least for right now, he can still surprise them. He is getting ready to attack when he hears an important radio message from Coke, the soldier on the ground. Yard 05, that will not work. You need to fly from the south to the north. Both Warthog planes fly back up, get together, and fly to the south and try another path, flying very low over the river. But now the secret is out, and the Iraqi soldiers know they are there. Campbell hears Turner talk on the radio.
Wedge. Shooters. Guns. Understood.
Campbell quickly flies into a V-shaped pattern and gets ready for her first attack of the day. Even though the danger is huge, Turner has decided to use guns instead of dropping bombs. Friendly soldiers and regular people are nearby. Guns hit the target better, but the pilots must shoot straight ahead to get right under the bridge to hit the enemy. They fly fast down toward the bridge. It pokes out of the foggy air to the north, like a pale ghost, and they cannot see the enemies hiding in its shadow, but they know they are there.
2 is ready.
Campbell watches as Turner shoots first. A super loud noise covers the battlefield as his A-10 plane shoots 70 bullets every second at the target. Then he flies up. Now it is her turn. She pulls the trigger. For 4 seconds, her bullets tear through the dirt and the bridge, hitting all over the target, until her Warthog plane also flies over the Iraqi soldiers, escaping the enemy bullets.
Yard 0 to 5, you missed the target. We are still being shot at. We are still being shot at. I need you to shoot at that target again.
They have missed. The wide top of the bridge and its thick pillars hid the enemy soldiers. The Iraqi soldiers hid under the bridge on purpose to stay safe from scary planes like the A-10s. The two pilots turn their planes around in a perfect line to attack again. But they have made the enemy very angry, and the soldiers are now waiting for them. As they fly low above the Tigris River, glowing bullets start zooming all around the Warthog planes.
1 is ready.
2 is ready.
The bridge lines up in their sights. Turner pulls his trigger, shooting a blast of bullets into the hiding spot under the bridge. This time, the bullets fly in from much lower to the ground, making the enemy run to hide. The very second Turner flies up, Campbell shoots her A-10's powerful guns right into the exact same spot. The loud spinning gun takes over the battlefield again, trapping the enemy in place. A strong line of bullets tears through the dirt and hard concrete, followed by the super loud noise of Campbell's Warthog flying above. But the result is exactly the same.
Yard 0 to 5! You missed the target! They are still under the bridge!
The Iraqi soldiers keep shooting at the American soldiers on the ground. The enemies picked a really great hiding spot, and it seems like even the Warthogs cannot hit them. The Americans need to try a different plan. Turner and Campbell fly away from the fight for a moment to plan their next move. They choose to use small missiles called Hydra rockets. These rockets do not track targets on their own and are small, but each plane has 12 of them. Wait there, I will go first. Understood. Turner turns his plane toward the target again, flying as low as he safely can over the water. Up high in the sky, Kim stays in place and watches her team leader fly just above the river toward the bridge. The pilot has to aim Hydra rockets manually, so the A-10 plane must point straight at the target. Turner keeps his plane flying straight through enemy bullets and smoke while his computer figures out exactly when to shoot. Finally, the target under the bridge looks clear in his window and he shoots. In a fast blur, a group of rockets zoom out of their tubes, smoke trails heading straight for the bridge. Turner watches happily as a line of explosions blasts the area. The bridge shakes hard, but he cannot see if he hit the enemy soldiers.
No, no! They did not go under the bridge, they just hit the outside wall!
Turner feels very angry about his bad luck. He tells Campbell that she is safe to start her attack.
You are clear to attack 2!
2 is flying in from the south.
Kim flies her plane down and gets into place. She speeds along the exact same path as her leader, but the Iraqi soldiers have now seen the Warthogs do this from the same spot before, and this time they are totally ready. An Iraqi soldier with a heavy missile launcher on his shoulder aims at the A-10 Thunderbolt plane. Campbell lines up her targeting crosshairs, putting them right under the bridge as she flies quickly toward the target. Then, she pulls the trigger. Hydra rockets blast out from under her wing one after another, zooming toward the hiding spot of the Iraqi soldiers. As the explosions get bigger, she pulls her controls back and turns left to get away from the enemy bullets. At that exact second, the Iraqi soldier finally gets his missile locked onto her A-10, and he fires. A line of smoke shoots up from below as a rocket speeds toward Campbell. It zooms loudly toward the escaping A-10 and explodes right next to the tail of her plane. There is nothing she can do. She sees the glass over her seat swallowed by a bright fireball, feels herself pushed forward, and the front of her plane snaps down to point at the city below.
Oh no! 2 got hit! 2 got hit!
On the ground, the Iraqi soldiers cheer. They hit a plane. Turner turns his plane back to help Campbell, and at the same time, he tells the soldiers on the ground what is happening.
Advance 33, yard 0 to 6 is hit. We are trying to return to base. Do you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Good luck.
Kim Campbell does not answer. She is wrestling with her controls as her Warthog plane falls straight toward the enemy streets of Baghdad. She grabs the flight stick and tries as hard as she can to turn left, back to the safe American side of the river. But nothing happens. Her eyes dart quickly across her dashboard screens. The board in front of her is covered in giant flashing lights. The big warning light is glowing. The lights for the liquid power system are flashing. The power from both backup liquid systems has dropped to 0. Without this liquid power, she cannot control how her plane tilts or turns. She could use her parachute seat right now, or she could switch to manual muscle power flying. Flying an airplane by muscle power is super dangerous and painful, but the other choice is parachuting down into the enemy side of the river. I am not parachuting over Baghdad. She chooses to flip the switch for manual flying. Now she can only count on her own arm strength. She pulls super hard to the left and pulls up. Her plane moves very slowly. Just holding the controls steady might take up to 150 pounds of pulling force on the handle. So she pulls hard with both hands, and very slowly the giant 16-ton machine turns left, taking her far away from the enemy side of the Tigris River.
Use your chaff and flares! Chaffs! Flares!
Turner's voice shouts over the beeping warning lights. Glowing bullets fly all around the broken Warthog, and Turner tries his best to keep Campbell's plane from getting hit again. She drops the metal chaff to trick enemy missiles, and she pulls hard on the controls again with all her might. With a lot of skill and hard work, she steers her plane away from the crazy battle below and manages to fly up above the bad weather. Her right hand gets too tired, so she switches to flying with her left hand while she thinks about what to do next. Landing a plane using only manual muscle power is almost never practiced, and only 3 pilots tried it during the Desert Storm War, and 1 pilot died trying. Should she parachute out? She stops thinking when Turner speaks on the radio as he flies right next to her. Yard 06, it is still 200 miles back to the base. How is the plane flying on manual? Do not push yourself too hard. There are friendly soldiers below if you need to parachute out. She remembers a paper she had to sign saying that parachute seats were made for heavier pilots, usually men, and the powerful blast of jumping out could hurt her badly or even be deadly.
Yes, yard 0 to 5. Can you look at my damage? What do you see back there?
Yard 0 to 6, understood.
Turner looks closely at her smoking plane. His eyes scan the main body and the tail, and he sees hundreds of tiny holes caused by the exploding missile. You have holes scattered all over the plane's body and tail, stretching all the way to your wheels and even where the wings attach. There is a hole the size of a football in the right tail wing. Turner looks toward the back of the plane and gets very scared when he sees fire burning on the tail. Also, the right engine is covered in dents and holes from metal pieces. Should he tell her? He decides not to. He needs to keep her hopeful and tries to make her feel better. You have some extra fresh air holes in the back, but the plane can still fly.
Understood. Yard 0 to 5.
Campbell has made her choice.
I can handle it. I will fly it home.
I will stay right next to you the whole way. Campbell drops her remaining bombs over the desert to make her plane lighter and to stop a big explosion during a bumpy landing. The Air Force, however, firmly stuck a heavy electronics box to the wing of the plane. There is no way for a pilot to drop this box off the plane. It makes the plane heavy on one side, and landing with muscle power while this box is attached makes everything much harder and more dangerous. She has to use her muscles to fight the lopsided plane for the entire 1-hour flight back to base. But finally, she can see the Al Jaber Air Base in Kuwait. She lowers the landing wheels using the backup handle. A few seconds feel like a super long time until the green lights finally turn on to say her wheels are down. She is as ready as she will ever be to land.
Yard 0 to 6, this is an emergency. Wheels are down. Stopping completely.
Campbell slows the Warthog down. The plane becomes easier to steer at a slower speed, which makes her feel better as she gets closer to the runway. But there is one last surprise. Just 60 feet above the ground, her plane suddenly twists hard to the left. She feels super scared as she quickly pulls the flight stick to the right without even thinking. Thankfully, the airplane straightens out, and a few seconds later, the wheels touch the runway. Thank you, God. The radio fills with cheers from all her pilot friends as she finally starts to calm down. Amazingly, the scary trip did not stop her, and Campbell got right back into the sky to fly the very next day. Her airplane, though, was broken too badly to fix and never flew again. Captain Kim Killer Chick Campbell won the Distinguished Flying Cross Medal for her amazing flying skills, and we hope she enjoys this story. She has made it home. If you want to hear more amazing stories from history and war, subscribe to our channel and click the bell so you never miss a new video.